Well, we're similar in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways we were different. And one of the things is that we used to challenge each other, and we used to test each other and push each other, but I think what I missed more than anything is the honesty. So some of me is him, some of me is my mother, and some of me is just me.
Yeah,
yes.
And you talk about being similar. What ideologies or principles do you share? In what ways, like you said, you challenged each other? In what ways did you have separate ideas or ideals?
I wouldn't say we had separate ideas or ideals. We may disagree on a method, but we always agreed on the end goal. But when we talk of ideology, social justice, providing platforms for people who have been marginalized, space for young people, allowing people to say what they want even if we didn't agree. There's no ideology he had that I think I had different. Mm-hmm. Maybe we would disagree on speed or time, but we never disagreed fundamentally. Mm. Yes. There've been many contestations, I think, since your father's passing about who spoke last with Raila Odinga, what he said to them. And this is something you've weighed in on as well recently. No. Now, without going into very deeply personal conversations that you had with your father, but what can you tell us about your last conversations with Raila Odinga? Well, Yvonne, just as you said, they were deeply personal. Mm. And I feel it would be disrespectful of me to share those personal conversations that I had in private with the public. Not every conversation we had was for public consumption. Mm-hmm. Sometimes he was just my dad, and the night before he passed, we sat in his room for 2 hours discussing everything. So I feel that there are very many people, and when we come to politics, we'll discuss that, who may now say that the party leader may have said this and that. And I feel it's not incumbent on them to now bring that into the forefront, whether they believe it or not. I think it's lacking a sense of occasion. I think it's disrespectful to the departed. And I don't think that it would be appropriate for me to discuss that. Mm. Thank you for being with us here. We have much, much more to talk about with you, Winnie Odinga. Like you said, there's much to talk about in the field of politics. Mm. Indeed, what lies next for you? We're looking forward to that conversation. And indeed, to the rest of you who want to send in your questions, comments, the hashtag is The Explainer at Citizen TV Kenya, at Yvonne Okwara. If you want to send us a text message, the number is 22422. We shall have more with Winnie Odinga in just a moment here on The Explainer. But first, let's talk about what's happening in the education sector. Learners from humble backgrounds in Kajiado County now set to join grade 10 after the conclusion of a community-driven fundraising for their education. The funds drive, now in its 8th year, sees families invest in an education fund that is supplemented by a clan-led communal fundraiser. This year's fundraiser collected at least 17 million shillings, easing the burden for hundreds of families in the county. Brenda Wanga reports.
In the heart of Kajiado County, the Ilmogesen clan is redefining the phrase, "It takes a village to raise a child." This largely pastoral community is pulling together for a cause that is not just dear to them, but is also at the very heart of their survival and prosperity, their children's education.
Yes, 33,000.
One by one, they give what they have. The financial basket grows, and so does the hope for parents and 460 learners who would have missed this chance to further their studies.
Arambe ya Nabulor Mogesen walisema watapatia kila jamii nafasi moja, maana tukisema tupatie kila jamii nafasi, kuna wale watalipa zaidi ya 2 maana wako na uwezo, na kuna wale hawana uwezo.